So your body, which is made of earth, air, water, ether, fire, for that matter, the whole cosmos is made of that. And the whole cosmos is in you. How? How the whole cosmos is in you? Because I say I am my body, I am my mind. Now this body and the mind is made of what stuff? Made of the same cosmic elements with which everything in this existence is made up. So me and the rest of the universe and everything in this existence, as such, when I look at the ingredient, there's no difference. The base material is gold. Lots of different designs of gold ornaments are made by the goldsmith. Thousands and thousands of varieties of different designs, but the base material is gold. So also the universe may have taken diverse myriad forms and names. The base material is one. It is the same Brahman, tvam asi, that Brahman with which everything is made. Yet the Brahman is not identified with it. It is one who is, and at the same time, detached from everything. Tattvamasi, you are that. And at that state where you are, you will talk like that daughter of Amran Rishi who says, I am the sun, I am the moon, I am all that exists in this universe, in the cosmos. And then what I see myself is that I am not this localized body in a localized space. I am beyond time, space, dimension. So what I see, I am cosmic body. My body is localized. But then as I expand myself into consciousness, as my consciousness expands in meditation, I then start to see everything is enveloped into that particular one ingredient of pure consciousness. And all this enveloping thing is Isha, Vasyam, Idam, Sarvam. Isha is that Ishvara, or the God element, the divine element, the totality element, the pure consciousness. With pure consciousness, all of it, the whole existence is enveloped with it. Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. In Isha Vasya Upanishad, in one of the Upanishads, the first sloka goes like this: Isha Vasyam Idam Sarvam. Idam Sarvam means all that is manifest. Idam means all that is manifest. Sarvam means everything, everything and all, everything that is manifest. Isha Vasyam, God envelops, the divine envelops, the truth envelops everything. It's like an ocean with trillions of waves, but water envelops every wave of the ocean. And every wave is ocean. And at the same time, every wave is an individual wave, localized. In a localized body, in a localized space, in a localized time dimension, because it is created, it stays for a while, then it disappears. Now it's created out of water, it sustains in water, and then finally again dissolves in water. So it comes from the ocean, stays in the ocean, dissolves in the ocean. So also each individual, like each one of us, we are born out of the element of that Brahman. We stay in the element of the Brahman, and then finally we dissolve into the Brahman. But all this process happens without our knowledge. This is where we all are, enveloped by the influence of illusion called Maya, where our self is as if clouded, shrouded in a mystery. We do not know who we are. We are acting as if we are beggars. But we are born King of Kings deep inside. Our pure element is that Brahman element. Deep inside, we are completely one with the divine. That is totality. That's where the cosmic consciousness is. So anyone who transcends this ignorance, this illusion, this avidya, this ajnana, through meditation, through worship, through prayer, through mantra, through surrender, through devotion, to steadfast devotion to the teacher, teachings and practices, one day reaches to that stage wherein he or she can transcend the bounds of this self-imposed limitation of the body, of the mind, and then transcend beyond body, beyond mind, into a space where it is non-local. And then that non-local, where you are no longer a person, you are no longer an individual, you become impersonal. Individual becomes universal. That universal self is like, it's all enveloping. So that's the reason you see the sages and the seers. They have cosmic bodies. They may look like human bodies, but their bodies are not human bodies. Their bodies are cosmic bodies, because in their every cell, they have already divinized it, where every cell is a cosmos in their awareness. Because they have divinized every cell of their body, they become seer, they become the sage, wherein their very presence on earth brings about such high level of positive vibrations, sacred vibration, that at some point of time, it touches all of them who ever wants to wake up from the slumber of ignorance and nescience, and would love to know the reality, the truth, beyond all these dualistic views and complexes of life, of miseries, of pain, of suffering. And then a time comes when one transcends all these miseries and suffering and pains and agonies, and is into a state of ecstasy. And that ecstasy comes out of all the agonies of life. Through the agonies of life, one reaches to a state where he or she wants to see the end of this suffering. And then the journey to the ultimate spirit self begins. And in this spiritual path, a teacher comes and holds the hands and takes that person gradually, step by step, to that ultimate land, holy land, the sacred land, the land of pure consciousness, which is the very ground of our own individual self, but in a state of unawareness. We don't know about it. One who knows not, because one who knows becomes it. It's not something that you can know. You can only know that which is separate from you. How can you know Brahman? How can you know pure consciousness? As long as you know pure consciousness, you do not know pure consciousness, because pure consciousness is totally a non-dual, deepest intuitive experience beyond mind-body. So in that non-dual state, how are you going to see? There is no seeing, there is no meeting. You become that. Thou art that. Tat tvam asi. You are that. But you are not separate from that you can see that. You can know that. No, you cannot know that. You cannot see that. Then what you can become that. Tat tvam asi. You are that. You are inseparable from the Brahman. That is the highest philosophy spoken by the rishis of Bharat, that is India, in the Vedic period. When the rest of the world was in the cradle of their own civilization, sages after sages rose to such infinite height of human excellence and talked about the ultimate science of humanity by which humans can transcend their miseries and ultimately get established in their non-local, beyond individual, universal, divinized self. Thus this land of Bharat has always been the spiritual head of the world. It is also called as, it is Dharma Guru. Why? Dharma is the order by which the whole universe, cosmos is governed. And these rishis had reached a stage where they became one with this governance. They didn't govern. There was no doer. They became the governance. Like the sun doesn't govern to create trillions of things in this universe. Sun is there. It's non-governance, in governance. Yes, the sun is governing, because without the light of the sun, there is not a single green leaf on earth. There is no vegetation on earth. There is no life on earth. Nothing is there. But yet, everything in this world is nothing but the one and the only. And it's not that it is difficult to attain to that state. It could have been very difficult if it were not to be our true innate state. If I was not made of THAT, that, then it would have been very difficult. But because I am, by my pure mind and pure nature, I am that. Because I am divine. I am divine. How? Because I'm made of that. How? Because all the elements with which I am made. That's what the cosmos is all about. The earth, the air, the water, the ether, the fire, the light. What else do you see as the basic ingredients of this cosmic process of creation? What do you see other than the manas, that is mind, buddhi, that is intelligence or intellect, chitta, that's your storehouse of all your mind elements into your subconscious mind, ahankara, which is your egotistical mind. So manas, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, mana, buddhi, chitta, ahankar, these are nothing but the same cosmic things but individualized. And the same cosmic things, mana, can become Vishwamana, where your mind becomes cosmic mind. Same buddhi, which is making you an individual and putting you into all suffering because of your limitedness. The same buddhi transformed, the same tamasic buddhi transformed into sattvic buddhi, it becomes bodhi. It becomes enlightened consciousness of intellect. Then what happens? This buddhi becomes transcendental intellect. It is pure intuition. And that intuition gives birth to infinite wisdom. So that buddhi at that stage is cosmic intelligence. It's not an individual intelligence. Your chitta, that is your storehouse of your trillions of memories with which you are built. Even that chitta Every individual on earth, from their mind, whatever thoughts generate, they're indelibly printed in the ethereal vibration. They're all there for millions of years, they are there. One needs to know how to download it, decode it, and define it. One has to deserve through dedication, devotion, love. And then one who has that yearning, that deepest urge, longing to know the truth. The truth is such simple, beautiful divinity that it reveals to the one who is longing, yearning, with deepest urge to see, feel, experience. All sadhanas are thus. But pure transcendence, from avidya to vidya, from individual mind to universal mind, cosmic mind, from individual buddhi to cosmic intelligence, from individualized ego to cosmic aham, which is all enveloping. That aham is not individual, it is universal. When you say aham rudrer vir vasur virascharamyaham, that aham which Krishna declares in Bhagavad Gita, again and again he says, whoever takes refuge in me, I will make sure that he or she is redeemed, liberated from the cycles of ignorance and bondage. That aham is not individual, that humans experience, because it is founded on separation. That aham is cosmic aham. So there is always an individual part and a cosmic part to yourself. Whatever you have in you, there is an individual part, and the same you is also cosmic you. The same I that I say, I, that same I is individual, the same I is also non-individual. For every element with which this I is made up of is individualized through mind, and once the mind becomes cosmic, everything with it becomes cosmic. The moment the mind becomes like the wave, realizing I am not a separate wave, I am inseparable from ocean. Ocean is waving into wave and the waves are waving back into ocean. If that is the reality, where is the separation of the wave anymore? So a sage is no longer a separated individual. An enlightened person is no longer a separated individual. So you cannot have enlightenment yet an individual. That individual is transformed forever for posterity, for good. You can't have the same person again. The one who is enlightened, the one who has gone to that ultimate transcendent state of DHAT, that person no longer is bound by the laws of your limitations of anything that makes the nature nature. Because all individualized concepts, they no longer work with him or her. Yet he or she behaves as if they are all bound by those laws. They don't so easily break those laws. They completely respect every laws of this world as long as they are in their physical body, in this physical world. That's the reason when you see the holy sages who are completely mastered their mind, their body, every cell, and has become one with the divine, behaves as if they are beautiful child of innocence. They move, they talk, they do everything like any other humans. You won't be able to really make sure that is this the same enlightened one that people thought and talked about. He looks like an ordinary man or woman. He looks like any other person. What on earth makes him a kind of a person who is made of the God stuff? But spend few more minutes. Gradually allow your mind to become empty and receptive. Don't approach the enlightened person with your cup filled. Go and approach an enlightened person with your cup empty. Let that person fill it up. If you go with a filled up cup, that's your mind crowded with all your concepts and philosophies that you have learned from the libraries, persons, and different resources. If your cup of mind is full, the sage cannot do anything to you. The master cannot do anything to you, because if he or she tries to pour the ultimate wisdom through his grace to you, your cup would only simply spill over, because it's already full. It cannot contain, it cannot receive, it cannot take, it cannot retain, it cannot sustain. In order to retain, in order to sustain, you have to become competent. This competency is adhara adhikara. That means you need to have adhikara, you need to have adhara. That means you need to be that competent container in which that exalted consciousness can pour into your cup. And then you will start to experience a different world in this very same world. The same water will no longer look like water, but it will be like energy of water. The same sky will no longer look like sky anymore. It will look like sky, but at the same time, a sky of a different energy altogether. The same beautiful trees all around, the same greens, they will all be there as they are, but no, there'll be something more than that. A divine dimension will be added to it, and in that dimension is the divine dimension of that which can only be seen with the third eye of awareness, which again is an awakening, the third eye of the awakened consciousness, the Agna Chakra, when that opens up, in genuine, real saints and sages, and enlightened one, through the eye of that awareness, the sage sees everything as himself. As if he is manifested as the sky. He is manifested as the trees. He is manifested as the insects crawling under his feet. Everything becomes nothing but manifestation of him. Everything is he. Everything is that. That is the alpha and the omega of this entire spiritual process. The beginningless beginning and the endless end. It is something which highly sounds philosophical, but it is true, it is philosophical. But if anyone in this world ever has tried this philosophy to make it practically practicable and practiced it with diligence and dedication and devotion, with love, with true emotion, then yes, they have all realized that ultimate reality of non-dualistic reality. Blessed are they in this world who have found a teacher in their life, a teacher who can gradually take the wheels of ignorance that covers up the mind and the buddhi, that is intelligence, and reveals the true knowledge of the self, that is that which is beyond all duality, that which is beyond all multiplicities, that which is beyond all manifestations. You and I are made of that same stuff, of non-local reality, non-individual reality, non-name and form reality. And that reality is the ultimate truth. Om Shanti, Shanti, Shanti.